Hello and welcome to the channel. Gav Axeman Spins, the November finds part 1, the new releases or the reissues, but brand new vinyl. Part 2 will be the used vinyl. So November, yes, been a busy month on the record purchasing front, busier than it probably should have been, but it is the month of my birth, so I was fortuitous enough to have some cash handed over from various family members, so thank you guys, and that has helped facilitate some of this. There was some good sales around on the new vinyl, so I'll show you some of those, and the used vinyl was phenomenally good. I did find some really good bargains, so there you go. We'll also have a look at the December theme. Now this is my 4th attempt at filming this video because I've managed to reveal the theme in all 3 previous attempts. I nearly did it again then. So yeah, so I'm going to be very quiet on that. There's a picture clue on the community post. There is a clue within this video, and there is a clue on the titles of the first record I'm going to show you. So without further ado, I'm going to stop there leaving clues because I've managed to blow it on all other attempts. So this is attempt number 4, so hopefully I won't say it again. There you go. So first album that came out at the start of November, The Mighty Cure, the brilliant Songs of a Lost World. This is fabulous, so I'm not going to go on too much about this. I've done an unboxing video on it. There is a clue on the song titles of this album as to what the theme is for December. Along with the picture that might pop up at some point in this video as well. So yeah, so that there's also, for those that are loving the Cure at the moment, they are releasing a live version of this album, played in full from the Troxy shows, mixed by Robert Smith, and all proceeds go to War Child, and that's it's up for pre-order now, and I think it gets released in February. So if you're enjoying the Cure at the moment, there's more stuff you can buy, so pleased with that one. Now probably my reissue of the month, and there was some good stuff that was hard to find that's finally got reissued now. Vertigo Swirls, boys and girls. We all know they're phenomenally expensive, and personally I'd struggle to justify dropping 200 or 300 quid on a record that I may or may not like. I have bought a CD box set that has 3 CDs, and it cherry picks some of the best tracks from bands like Colosseum and stuff like that. But one of the bands on there is this one. So this got a reissue. I got a CD box set, a black vinyl version, and what I'm about to show you now, which is the very nice red vinyl swirl. So would you like to know what it is? So if I show you the other side of the label, dun, 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 you'll see the slightly demonic 666 by Aphrodite's Child, the Greek supergroup that hosted Vangelis before we went off and did Chariots of Fire and stuff like that, and Demi Roussos before we did Forever and Ever and Ever. Now that sounds like not the kind of recommendation you would expect to get, but this is actually a really good album, so prog fans will know it. It's very famous in collectors circles, very hard to find an original, so nice red vinyl double of that, which didn't break the bank either. That was a website exclusive, so well worth getting if you want a nice copy of that. Over to the 90s now. So I know Annette, one of my subscribers, is a big 90s fan, so here you go, Annette. So the Charlatans, with their reissue of their 3rd album, Up to Our Hips. You may have noticed that the cover now looks like that. It used to look like that, so we will forgive them. It's on nice green vinyl. It is a double as well, so there is an extras album with it. But that would cost you an absolutely arm and a leg in its original format. There's an antique centre up the road that's got an original in their display cabinets, which is priced at around the £100 mark, and I've made him offers several times, and it's been there for, believe it or not, nearly 7 years, and it's still there. So he'll probably be a bit upset that this has got reissued, but yeah, so Up to Our Hips, great album from the 90s by one of the great kind of UK bands, underrated I think. So Another 90s band from 1994, a debut album reissue. This one, I don't think I've ever seen an original in the wild, so I was delighted when this came out, and I think it's a part of an ongoing reissue campaign. Shed 7, which in the UK at the moment is having a right old good year, a couple of #1 albums already, I think, and they've reissued finally their debut album, which has things like Speakeasy, which when mobile phones first came out made them a lot of money, I think. Dolphin, Long Time Dead, just great album. So yeah, so the Shed's debut has finally come out. So those, with the exception of a couple at the end, were the pre-ordery internety stuff. The next lot are all sales around Black Friday, so not Amazon. This was, I think the major one was Rare Waves. I always have struggle saying that. But this is a great, really pleased to get this. So this is a 2020 reissue of the Zombies' first album, which has the wonderful She's Not There on it. Obviously, the Zombies are a great band. They made a few albums. The second one is Odyssey and Oracle, but the debu's worth having. And that was on a nice white vinyl, so can't knock that. And then going into the 80s, this one turned up in the sales. Cheap as Chips, a Walmart exclusive by Queen. So the Game from 1980 includes things like, obviously, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Another One Bites the Dust. One of my favourites, Dragon Attack, great Queen song that is, and a Brian May song called Sail Away Sweet Sister, which is brilliant, and The Immortals Save Me at the end. But I bought this because I've got all the Queen stuff on originals, most of them, and they are getting a little bit old now, so if I see these reissued on coloured vinyls at a cheap enough price, I'll dive on them. And that one was on a very nice grey kind of vinyl, so yeah, silver, I suppose silver is probably the word, but yeah, cheap as chips. So all those are all, I think, were all below sort of like £6 or £7. And as was the next one. So for America, the Cars, this was a Rocktober reissue, and the next records I haven't had a chance to clean yet. All the others I had, so they are a bit staticky, so which is why you have to clean your records. Yeah, but that's on a nice blue vinyl. So the third Cars album for Next to Nothing. Flipping back to the 90s, Jesus Jones, good band, their third album. I've got the first two on original. Again, this one was because we were heading into the 90s, they got harder to find on vinyl, so but they've done that on a nice blue, and I think that was again about £6, so can't really knock that as a reissue. And then a criminally underrated band, as confirmed by Jack at the Vinyl Voyage. He's done a nice video on bands that should have been massive. I may well do response to that myself. Teenage Fan Club, I mean, why is this band not massive? I really don't know. And this is their latest album, which this is like a red vinyl version, and I kid you not, that was, I'm sure that was something like £5.90. It was just absolutely ridiculous price. So and I did, unfortunately, I've been very good this year of not double dipping on new records and buying multiple copies. But I'd got another version of this on a different colour in a slightly posher sleeve, but I wasn't going to leave that behind for a £5. So yeah, great band, Teenage Fan Club. Jack, and yes, Shaq. We have to mention Shaq in every video, but what about now? Anyway, so the last two are turned up right at the end of the month. So from 2004. An Elton John album in almost all but name. This is the Scissor Sisters, their debut album, Laura, Taking Mama, what a song that is, Mary. I mean, the singles from this were brilliant, but it's a really good quality album. So, nice green vinyl version, the Scissor Sisters, so 20 years, my God, where did the time go? So, yeah, so I dipped in for that one, and then finally, going further back, a little-known band, very obscure, their debut album on Capitol in America, and this one sadly wasn't cheap as chips, but it is Meet the Beatles. Now there is a whole host of mono Beatles American version albums, and I had a bash at this one. I thought I'll give it a whirl and see what these sound like. and I went for this very, very nice blue vinyl. It's actually very marbly. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but yeah, that's probably the best angle, isn't it? So but I will say, beautifully done. Very expensive, ridiculously expensive at £39 a pop. Some of these, they did drop a little bit on Amazon, but if I'm gonna buy any more, I'm gonna wait for them to do the inevitable drop, as they may do in the new year. But attention to detail, a nice replica of the inner sleeve as well, and you get some very nice sleeve notes and tape box pictures from Bruce Spicer, who's a very good Beatles author. So that was kind of a nice way to finish November for new stuff. That's that. I'm going to be very careful now because I've messed this up on the previous 3 videos. So you want to have a guess at what the theme is for December. There's a picture on my community post. There is a visual clue within this video, and there is a clue as well in the song titles of the Cure album. Next video will be the used vinyl. Now, I told you it was my birthday, and I went out and about an awful lot. My God, I've just realised how many I've got here. So the used vinyl for November will be that lot. There was a lot, but before people start having palpitations, the prices from those were very, very low. I was here, there and everywhere and found some proper bargains. £2.50 onwards for some of those albums, and a few minty ones for like a £5 here and there. So it was a phenomenally good month. Did find up a couple of good 90s kind of rarities as well. So yeah, November's been a great month. Thank you for watching. Good luck with guessing. If you have a look at the community post, Rob Andrews at Let the Music Play, Rob Walker, who's Rob Andrews? He's a rugby player here. Rob Walker at Let the Music Play has had a guess at what the theme is, and he wasn't a million miles away. So well done, Rob, you're almost there. So if you want to have a look at Rob's comment, that will give you a further clue. So I'm going to shut up now because every time I've done this video, I've messed it up at the end and then actually said what the theme is. So I'm going to try my best not to now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.